Hello guys, welcome back to Settling in Australia. Kwame here once again. So in today's video, I just want to elaborate in regards to a different option for those that are looking in regards to getting into Australia to work in the support industry. So last year, when the government introduced the new aged care industry labor agreement, I basically did a video and took you guys through a step-by-step process in regards to how you can get your skills assessment done and also look for employers so the employers can sponsor you guys to come and live and work in the support industry in Australia. I know most of you guys watched my video and you had your positive skill assessment. Congratulations once again. Until date, most of you guys are looking for employers, but finding employers is kind of challenging as we speak. I've not relaxed on this issue, so I've been talking to one or two employers. What they are basically saying is not every employer in Australia will be able to sponsor people under the new aged care industry labor agreement. Hence why it's very difficult to find an employer to sponsor you guys to migrate and to come and work in the support industry. There is another alternative, so I'll quickly jump on the computer and take you guys through this other alternative. Before we get into this video, just know that I'm not a registered migration agent, so please use any advice in this video as general advice only. Let's get right into it. So guys, before we do this deep dive, I just want you guys to know that the support industry in Australia is one of the fastest growing industry right now. There are a lot of support workers needed in Australia. Let me demonstrate this to you guys. So let's quickly go on. Let's say seek. We come here, let's just type in support. So support worker. And voila, as you guys can see here, 16,449 jobs have been advertised on Seek alone. So this shows you how a lot of support workers are needed in Australia right now. So how come Australia needs a lot of support workers? One, the aging population in Australia is increasing rapidly. And two, the government introduced something called NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme, some few years back. And since they introduced this, this industry is becoming really huge in Australia, and everyone wants to work in this industry because they pay really well, honestly. So if you are thinking of coming to Australia to work in the support industry, then now is the time. So last year, Australia basically introduced something they called the aged care industry labor agreement. I did a video on that, so I'm not going to waste time here. And with this industry labor agreement, it has three occupations. So we have the nursing support worker, personal care assistant, aged or disabled carer. Okay, so these are the sort of occupations you can basically use to work in this industry. Coming to live and work in this industry, one, you need to make sure you have your skills assessment, and also the employer needs to make sure they have their labor agreements. And to have their labor agreements, they need to go through one of the unions right here to get something called the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. Once they get that, they'll basically get a green light from the government, and the government is going to allocate how many people they can basically sponsor, and then they'll be able to sponsor you, okay, to come and live and work in Australia. I'm going to leave this link in the description section below, so if you want to read in regards to the requirements, okay, all you need is basically a certificate 3 or equivalent, IELTS 5.0, nothing less than 4.5. okay, so all the information you basically find here. So since I did that video last year, I think most people watched my video. You guys got your post-skill assessment, but the sad news is till date, some of you are still struggling in regards to finding an employer to sponsor you guys. So I've been doing a deep dive and I've contacted numerous of employers, and they are all basically saying the exact same thing. But what I basically got to find out is in Australia, not all the employers will be able to sponsor workers under these three occupations or ANZ score code. Okay, so nursing support worker, personal care assistant, and aged or disabled carer. The only employers that will be able to sponsor these sort of workers are employers that basically have aging facilities built. So with this sort of employers, we don't have a lot of these employers in Australia. And when we're talking of employers that have got their own aging facility built, we are talking of these big employers like Curtains Australia and the rest. And finding sponsorship with these employers are very competitive, because what they are basically doing is, even though they've got their labor agreement, they are sponsoring employees that are currently living onshore. Yeah, so I don't know when they are going to basically sponsor people offshore. And when they get their labor agreement too, it's not like the government is going to give them unlimited amount of people to sponsor. They allocate numbers to them to sponsor. Hence, that's why finding an employer sponsorship when you have your skills assessment done in any of these occupations is really challenging and difficult. On the other hand too, we have something called NDIS employers. So NDIS employers will not be able to sponsor anyone with this nursing support worker, personal care assistant, and age or disabled carer. They will not be able to sponsor. If the person is an NDIS provider and they also have an aging facility, then they'll be able to sponsor. But if they are just an NDIS provider with no aging facility, then they will not be able to sponsor anyone. Hence, that's why it's very difficult finding employers to sponsor you guys. We have a lot of NDIS providers, guys, and there is this other occupation I'm going to share with you guys very soon that you guys can explore. Okay, and when you go through this occupation, then you basically increase your chances of migrating to Australia as compared to you only targeting the nursing support worker, personal care assistants, and aged care or disabled carer. Trust me, guys, I just got to find out this recently as I was doing my research and also as I was asking and talking to a lot of employers. And of course, Kwame, I'm happy to share this news with you guys. So let's say if you're someone that is watching now and you already have your post-skill assessment either through ANMAC or AQUA with as a nursing support worker, personal care assistant, and aged care or disabled carer. If you are looking for sponsorship, then I'm going to leave this link in the description section below. Only these employers will be able to sponsor you. Okay, so you can basically go copy their names, go on Google. I did a video on that. I'll leave that in the description section below and contact them. Okay, I know most of you guys have already done that, but still nothing is happening. And contact them and they'll be able to sponsor. So this goes all the way to page number 5. And trust me, guys, these are the only ones that will be able to sponsor you and no one else. Now let's talk of NDIS. Okay, so in Australia we have NDIS. Okay, and with this link, all the NDIS providers in Australia, you find their details here. Okay, so when it comes to the aging and disability, especially in the disability industry, we have providers that will be able to employ you. With this sort of providers, they can only sponsor you under one occupation, and that occupation is, I'll come to the skills occupation list. Okay, when I come here, it's called the Disability Service Officer. Let's quickly explore this and I'll go back to the NDIS provider list. So Disabilities Service Officer, we click on search. So this is the ANZ score code. Okay, let's quickly explore this. I'll come back to this. And the amazing thing with this occupation is when we come to the visa, see, you'll be able to apply for the skilled nomination visa 190. Training visa, you'll be able to 489, 482, 187, 494, 491, 186. Okay, so there are a lot of options in regards to visa. So if you're under the age of 45 and you have your skill assessment already done as a disability service officer, then you can basically express your interest to go and work in a regional area or in a state in Australia. And when it comes to the visa options, there are a lot as compared to just these ones as a nursing support worker, personal care assistant, and the aged or disabled carer. Okay, so I'll come back again, and in regards to your skills assessment too, you have to get your skill assessment done with AQUA. So when we click on AQUA, we come to migrants, migrant skill assessment criteria. Then we come to Disability Services Officer. You click on it, yep, and it's going to tell you the sort of documents you need to get your skills assessment done. Hope I'm making sense here. Yeah, so I'll quickly brush through this. So qualification can be one of the following. So a relevant diploma or higher with a specialization in disability services. Yeah, so if you have a diploma, you can basically go through this. Okay, and The English proficiency, I think, is where people will find the difficulty, because you need at least band 7 when it comes to the IELTS, band 7 in each of the components, and PTE2 you need at least 65 each, yeah, and the rest. Yeah, okay, so if you meet all the requirements, then you can basically just come back here, okay, get a skill assessment, create an account, and follow the process. Okay, so if you're under the age of 45, what you basically do is, after you've gotten your post skill assessment and you have the right qualification, also the English language requirement that is needed, then what you can basically do is go and express your interest if you're under the age of 45, under 190 and also 491. But in case that is also taking time, you can now go and look for an employer to sponsor you under Visa Circulars 482 or 494. Okay, and the good news in regards to you doing your skill assessment as a disability services officer is there are a lot of NDIS providers in Australia, guys, and all these providers will be able to sponsor you as compared to the sponsors that will have to get their labor agreement, okay, to sponsor you under what do you call it, as a nursing support worker, personal care assistant, and disability care, age or disability carer. But when it comes to the NDIS, I've got a link here. It's this link basically has all the NDIS providers, registered providers and employers. And when I say providers, NDIS employers that will be able to sponsor you, and we have a lot in Australia. So when we come down here, see, so this is basically the whole of Australia map, and this will show you how many we have. So NSW, you're looking around 28,000, okay, Victoria around 4,000, Perth around 4,000, and it goes on and on and on. And as you can see, all these are NDIS providers you can basically reach out to, okay, for them to sponsor you once you have your positive skill assessment and also the qualification and the requirement. So guys, there are a lot of opportunity here, guys. So you can basically come here and search by the state. So let's say if you want to go to, let's say South Australia, you click on there, and all the what do you call, you guys know South Australia is, the whole of South Australia is a regional area. So you guys can basically go through all these. They have their email, as you can see here, website, and they've got their phone number too, and you can basically contact them, tell them you've got your skill assessment done and you need sponsorship. And trust me, as you guys saw on Seek, over 16,000 jobs advertised for support workers. So Australia needs support workers because our aging population is growing rapidly. I'll leave this link in the description section below too, so let me know if you guys have any questions in regards to this. And that's all for this video, guys. So if you are watching this video and you want to come and live and work in the support industry, another pathway you can basically use is you coming to do your studies here. So we have certificate 3 in individual support, we have certificate 4 in either disability or aging support, we have diploma in community service, we have diploma in nursing. So these are all affordable courses. If you are someone that is watching and you want to basically jackpot quickly and you have the sort of funds to support your studies in Australia, then you can basically just come through the study route. Okay, come and study whilst you work in Australia. In case you need help, go to the description section. I'm going to leave a form, enter your details, and Kwame, I'll be in touch. My name is Kwame. I'll see you guys in my next video. It's a bye for now.